Hey there, welcome to another episode of Eve News, Weather, and Sports. I'm Mike Azariah. Today is November the 24th, 2025, and this is going to be a very short one because it's not exactly a big news week, but doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a quick cast either way. New Community Beat is out from CCP, so if you want to see who they're boosting and connecting to, the link will be one of the ones down below. The Epic Art for the mining has been running for a while. I tried it this morning. I'll talk a bit more about that at the end. But you get a chance to get the new Pioneer ship and work towards some other things. For traders, there's a new tool out called eProfits. Now, I want to emphasize I do not know the maker, I do not get anything for mentioning it. And I do not know the validity of it. Haven't tested it out fully yet. Gone to the website. Haven't had my credit card stolen yet. So that's a good thing. But you may want to give that a check out if you're into trading and trade and looking for the max min of being able to do market trades. It's on about a 1.5 hour delay. Uh, the makers of outside third party programs in Eve has been a big thing for a long time. Back to Kriba, and some of his programs are still out there, like Eve Offline, and all the way up to the one that's just been made. And for the life of me, I'm sorry, I forgot to look up the name of the maker. But you also have Wolari with Dotland. You have Eve Uni running the wiki for Eve Online. Like Eve Online does not have its own wiki. It depends on we, the players, to make one. And Eve Uni does a fairly good job. If you get there and you feel that something's out of date, drop them a line or offer to write something up for them. They'll probably accept. As for violence in the game, movements first, then violence. For movements in, according to Dotland, Pandemic Horde has dropped another 1,756 players. That's just short of another 10%, probably about 8% thereabouts, but they are definitely still bleeding. The second biggest loss was a group called Pan Intergalactic Business Community, who dropped 1,328 members, leaving 8 in the corp. Once again, somebody liked my joke last time, probably the CEO and his alts. Init and Goons both picked up a little over 600, and Fraternity picked up 449 new players. So there is growth happening. It's not like everybody's dying, but Pandemic Horde for 3 weeks now has been the leader in loss. As for violence, in Nullsec, it was Zulu TAC Yankee 7 Romeo 7 with 280 ships, 228 pods. In Lowsec, it was Amamake with 578 over 144. In Highsec, it was 687 over 337. You guessed it, Cheetah. And in NPC space, it was our good old friend Yankee TAC Zulu X-Ray India Oscar with 46,308 ships blown up. Man, I wish I had a right through port to there just to hunt whoever is doing all the killing in that one system. 46,000 NPCs. Back to the mining arc. Now, in Eve, we have a thing called epic arcs, which is great. The most famous one that we send a lot of the new bros to, or give it as an option for them to try, is the Bloodstained Stars, also known as the Sisters arc. And it's fairly easily done by an alpha. They can do it flying a destroyer of medium fit as long as they can squeeze out about 125 to 130 DPS and understand how to get into your optimal and shoot. If they don't understand that, then it becomes very tough. But, they can do it. I also think that sometimes that mission was set up just to show them that if you can't fit good enough, bring friends, which is a good thing in Eve and a very common. We call it N+1. If you haven't got enough guns, bring friends that add to the number of guns on your side. When they say Epic Arc, though, the Sisters of Eve is 52 missions. You do a lot of traveling all through space. The Enemy of My Enemy, I think that's the Galente one, has a fair number of missions that takes you into low sec as well as high sec and takes you all over the place as well. The Mining Epic Arc has 3 missions, probably a total of around 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 jumps thereabouts, depends on where you start from. Although the mission starts in Kisigo. And so the first mission sends you to Herdamon at 5 jumps away and tells you to go do a bit of mining. And as is should be for a mining arc, it is slow and it is a patience operation where you sit there and you mine. What do you expect from a mining arc? I've heard people complaining, this mining arc is boring. All it wants me to do is mine. Yes, that's the point. But you mine enough. I would strongly recommend if you go there, the first mission has to be done in a venture. Fit a micro warp drive so that you can get from one side to the other because the separation of the rocks can be up to 100 kilometers. You are going to spend a lot of time mining, but you're also going to spend a lot of time traveling from one rock to the other rock. Second one, they give you a Pioneer, so you have to fit it. Personally, before I went to Kisigo, I looked up and came across a good fit, well, leastwise a workable fit for a Pioneer, and loaded most of it into the cargo of my venture prior to getting over to Kisigo so that I was ready for when I got the Pioneer. I used a modification of Loru's fit. I'll put a link to his thing in the. I'll probably put a link to the Eve workbench for that one. But then you went to Ikuchi. When I read that name of that, I went Ikuchi, and as soon as I said Ikuchi, I immediately thought of a flamenco guitarist named Charo. And if you are old, you get that reference and think of her as a coochie coochie girl. Don't ask. Anyways, again, some mining, but you do have to be using the mining ship of the Pioneer, which is nicer, has 8,000, and it is a reading um, test also. Because a lot of people go, oh, a mission, accept, point me where I'm supposed to go. There are games where that is fine. In Eve, that doesn't work as well because sometimes there's a detail in there, and if you miss it, there's a whole bunch of rocks. But in one of these missions, you're only supposed to mine a few of them, specific ones. And to figure out which ones you have to mine, you have to use the scanner in the Pioneer to see which ones are anomalous ventures and which one are normal rocks. And you're supposed to mine the special ones. You're also only supposed to mine 4,000 units, not every rock in the belt, just enough of that specific rock to fill an Odysseus. Last, you get sent to Aokanich. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, Mr. Aokanich. And again, you have to have a data analyzer fit, and I strongly recommend an afterburner, an MWD. And this has one of the things that is a throwback to the very early days of Eve, mines. It has proximity mines. You get too close to them, bam. I didn't really pay attention to this, going, I have a tank on this, bam, 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 as I realized I was halfway through structure. Pay attention to the mines or make sure you have a really good tank. Fortunately, I have a really good tank. I did not die. I finished the mission, got the Pioneer, a BPC, and made about 9 million ISK. If you've got an hour or two, roughly 2 hours is what they're calling the mining epic arc. I don't know about the word epic, but it was a fun diversion for an afternoon for me, and I did it. I hope that you find some fun diversions or something that you enjoy doing in Eve. This is, let's see, the 24th, so there's 1 week to go, maybe a little less, 30, yeah, a little less, 6 days left in Operation Magic School Bus fundraiser. I probably will have an event somewhere along the line near the very end, but so far people have been fairly generous. I was hoping for just a tiny, about 1 billion more would be perfect. But I'm not asking you to send it. I'm just saying what I'm hoping to get in the last 6 days. Other than that, I hope you have yourselves a good time. I hope that if you're playing Eve, you're enjoying Eve. And if you're playing at life, watch out for the gankers. Happy days. red wine.